Hello! If you are a middle school math teacher struggling to make middle school math stations work in your classroom because you feel like it takes way too long, I have got 3 tips to make stations easier and faster for you to start using in your middle school math class. If we don't already know each other, my name is Kathy Martin and I'm the creator of the Pre-Algebra Teachers Middle School Math Membership. We are your one-stop shop for everything you need to teach middle school math. Now, before I give you my 3 tips, my 3 time-saving tips for running middle school math stations, if you want more of a deep dive training into how to make stations easy, realistic for you, and get 1 hour of printable certificate for 1 hour of professional development, use the link below in this video to sign up for our free training. There are different times and different days available for you to sign up for this training. It's totally free, and I dive way deeper into how to set up stations, what your stations can be, classroom management for your stations, everything that you will need. So so use the link below, right below this video, and sign up for it. Okay, so let's dive in. Our 3 tips for making stations a lot more time-saving. Okay, first, I want you to, especially if you are just getting started with stations, even if you're not and you're just struggling with how to make it work, reset, okay? Like we're gonna rewind and start back from the beginning. And I want you to go back and introduce 1 station at a time. So what that means is you are grouping your students into however many you want in your group, and everybody is working on the same activity. So for me, typically, when I am introducing stations for the first time, I will generally start with a set of task cards. I use task cards regularly in my class, and it's one of those things where I want my students to know how to use task cards. So I will introduce them as a station. Everybody does the task cards at the same time. And then we will slowly introduce more activities, but 1 at a time, which leads me into my 2nd tip, which is practice using whatever activity you are using. So in the example of task cards, I need my students to know how many task cards to complete. I need them to know how to use the paper, where they show their work. Or if you don't have a paper, like how do you want your students to show their work? We have to go through that. What is the initial, is there an initial setup for your task cards? What do they do after? For me, they need to put the task cards all back in order and then paperclip them so the next people coming, into the station are not walking into a hot mess. So these are all things that takes time for your students to practice, takes reminding, because telling them 1 time is, trust me, not enough, but practicing, right? And then you can start introducing the next type of activity you want to use in your stations, but again, 1 at a time, okay? And then tip number 3 is use what you have. If you don't have task cards, that's okay. Make index cards. You can easily write problems on index cards. Takes a little bit more time, but most of us have access to index cards, right? Use a textbook if you have textbook. Use, a lot of schools have like those consumables that go with your textbook. Use whatever like digital tools. There are so many digital tools out there, digital games. Use that. Many of them are free. Don't recreate the wheel if you don't have to. Okay, so let me know in the comments which of these time-saving tips are going to work for you. Again, they are introduce 1 station at a time, practice that activity, and then number 3, use what you have. Let me know in the comments which one you are going to use first. That's going to save you a ton of time. And don't forget, sign up for that free stations activity that I have in the description box below. You're going to learn a ton, and I dive a lot deeper into tips, tricks, strategies, exactly what you need so that stations can be easy and realistic for you. Again, my name is Kathy Martin, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.